Welcome to today's episode of Sigma Boy. I'm your host, and I have a truly special guest with me, someone who has spent the last 20 years building a self-sufficient, sustainable lifestyle. She's an expert in animal care, permaculture, and ethical homesteading. Please welcome Raiana Ferdous.
Whoa! Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here and start my journey.
Of course, but before we dive in, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Raiana Ferdous, and I'm a homesteader, animal caretaker, and advocate for sustainable living. I've spent the past 2 decades building a fully self-sufficient lifestyle, growing my own food, raising a variety of animals, and creating a thriving ecosystem on my land in Hawaii. I live here with my husband Felix and my son and daughter Ellie and William. My passion has always been to live freely, sustainably, and in harmony with others. Yeah?
Yeah, I agree.
Without the pressures of turning into a business. Wouldn't you think so? I do this for the love of my land, my family, and my animals. The theme of this podcast is living freely and sustainably with animals. And my personal theme is rapture. That's my priority feeling. And the meaning of that word rapture is feeling of intense pleasure or joy. Yeah.
Wow, your life seems so incredible. What inspired you to take this path?
Well, I've always really loved animals, right?
Yeah.
Where I could care for them while also being self-sufficient. It started with chickens when I was young. My parents got me a chicken. I loved it. It grew into something much, much bigger where I realized I wanted to have more. Every step of the way, I focused on making my homestead a place of peace, sustainability, and fulfillment.
Amazing.
Thank you. I know, that's like really what I aim to be.
Your life just seems so perfect and peaceful. It's really great seeing how your life is going. Let's take a step back to where it all began. Tell us about your early ambitions and dreams in 2025 and how your journey started.
Looking back in 2025 was the year when I was a sophomore in high school. Beginning of 2025, I was a sophomore in high school. It was crazy. So looking back when I was younger, I was so different. Not really. I was kind of the same. I loved animals back then. Owned chickens back then. And I'm still friends with the same people as I was back then. Some dreams I had back then. Well, I really wanted to get a badminton back then. I did join the badminton team back then. I remember it all so clearly. The team back then was so great. So many seniors I miss. Yeah. Amazing friends I made. We didn't win, but it was great. I wish I had gone better at volleyball, and I did. Like playing my friends and stuff. Some major struggles I had in 2025. It included a lot of bad time management. Like, I just sucked at time management. I wasn't regularly checking in on my chickens a lot. Yeah, I know. That wasn't very caretaker of me. What? I know. Why would you expect that of me? Like, what? Key goals I had back then was to definitely make more friends, and I definitely did. I know a lot of people. I can name so many people that I didn't know back in before 2025. Some key experiences include, remember like badminton. That was the first year during badminton in high school. It was a great experience. Like so many great seniors I met. Um, Gaining the experience with other badminton players, like it was great. Nice. I was really proud of myself back then. Not really, because when I did lose some of my matches, I was devastated. Like, I was mad at myself. But it's okay because it's the experience that matters. Badminton was a great experience in high school. It really encourages me to it really encouraged me to participate in badminton in junior year and senior year. I greatly loved it again in junior and senior year. More amazing people, some same people. It was great. Yeah, those experiences in badminton are amazing. There was this moment in we had cultural day in my sophomore year on March 2021. Oh shoot, wait, sorry. March 21. It was so fun. I helped my club interact and NHS with some fundraising, and we had so much fun with some people. It was open to the public, I believe. So many new people, faces, kids, adults, cute kids. I'm not a pedophile, I promise. I mean, I was like 15 back then. Why would I be? Challenges I did face were not wanting to branch out and increase my confidence. Yeah. I wish I did more, you know? I wish I did that. So in 2026, I was really focused on my chickens. I strengthened my bond with them and made it a habit to try and check on them every day. Then, in June 2027, I graduated from Kagman High School in Saipan. That was a big moment for me and my parents because I did it not just for myself, but also for my parents. Yep. And guess what? In 2028, I started experimenting with sustainable techniques like permaculture.
May I ask, what's permaculture?
So yeah, I do know what permaculture is. Permaculture is a sustainable measure that helps you create a more better environment and like build your own crops and stuff like that, you know?
Okay.
Simple terms.
All right.
And I also enrolled in Cornell University to study animal science for my bachelor's degree.
Wow.
That was a huge step for me because it gave me the knowledge I needed to care for animals at a professional level, you know?
Mm-hmm.
By 2029, I was visiting local farms, meeting the owners like Mr. Montenegro, Victor Cabrera, and like more. And gaining hands-on experience on different animal care techniques. It helped me understand how I wanted to structure my future homestead. Then, you know, in 2030, I took a big leap. I bought land in Hawaii. Hawaii. That was the first real step toward my long-term goal of a sustainable homestead.
What were some major milestones that shaped your journey after purchasing your land?
You know, once I had my land, things really started falling into place. 2031, I started producing my own chicken feed, you know? Like made of corn, grains, kelp, seaweed, all that good stuff. It was important for me to control what my animals ate as well too. I want them to be healthy. By 2032, I installed solar panels on my home and barn, which helped me make my homestead energy efficient.
That is very sustainable.
I know, right?
Yep.
That's like what I've aimed to achieve. Thank you. 2033, I finally reached self-sufficiency in egg production and meat production, but mainly eggs because, you know, I love my chickens, you know? I had regular egg layers and meat sources, and I also had a certificate on organic animal care, which was a big achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, accomplishment. And in 2034, I took another big step, you know? I expanded my homestead by adding exotic animals such as emus, otters, kinkajous. Yeah, that same year I also got married to my husband, Felix.
Okay.
And it felt like everything was coming together, you know?
Yeah.
After learning permaculture, I experimented with gardens for veggies and fruits in 2035. And that was also the year I had my son and daughter. named Ellie and William.
May I ask, are your children twins or are they just siblings?
No, they're siblings.
How many years apart?
They're 3 years apart.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
and my son was born first.
Okay. Moving
But
on.
I like to say that I had like my children like 2035, but like yeah, because their maturity levels are just so similar. You know? By 2036, I was able to give back to my family, providing them with eggs and chickens so they could have fresh, healthy food. 2037, I expanded my chicken breeds. I am Samanis, which are just black chickens. Like they're fully black. Their intestines are black. And I got Orpingtons and Frizzles too, because they're really cool. And from 2038 to 2040, I focus on improving my homestead, adding better water systems, more solar panels, and even hosting private gatherings with my family and friends.
That's an incredible journey. Now that we are in 2045, what does your life look like today?
That's a great question, because I'm really proud of it. I'm finally living the life I always dreamed of, you know? My land is thriving, my animals are happy, and my family is growing alongside it all. I love you, Felix and Ellie and William, you know? Shout out. In 2041, I also built a freshwater pond to support wildlife, like koi, goldfish, and catfish. And then in 2042, I built my own chicken coop from scratch with all the information I had garnered from the years. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
I know. Thank you. By 2043, I wanted to give back, so guess what I did?
What did you do?
So I started inviting kids and teens to my farm for hands-on experiences with animals and farming. Many of them also became interested in this lifestyle, and I continue mentoring them today.
May I ask, do they pay for those mentoring or you just do them for free?
No, you know, I don't need the money. I do it for free.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it's all about.
I could tell you have a good human heart.
Thank you. In 2044, I expanded my garden with even more crops and invited people to work with me. It became a small community effort, you know? Now in 2045, yeah, I'm finally satisfied. I have more exotic animals, including parrots, and each has a unique habitat suited for them. My land is fully complete. My family is happy, and I'm exactly where I always wanted to be.
Wow, very nice.
That's amazing.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give?
Well, I really have to think about that. But no, I tell myself to trust the process. There are moments of doubt, moments where I felt like things were moving too slowly, but every step, every small success was building towards this life. I'd also say don't be afraid to take risks. Buying land, experimenting with new ideas, and learning from failures, it all led me to where I am now.
Wow, those are very encouraging words. Moving forward, that's such great advice. Any final words for our listeners who might be dreaming of a similar path like yours?
You know, I just really want to encourage anyone listening. If you have a dream, go for it. Just do it.
Exactly.
Nike. Like, if you have a dream of living freely and sustainably, you got this. Start small, learn everything you can, and never give up. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about staying true to what you love.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly, yeah.
And there's this really cool quote I want to say. I once loved a flower so much that I never picked it. Sometimes you gotta leave things where it needs to be. But on the other hand, on the contrary, you need to go after the things that need to be picked, that are made to be picked out for you. So just go for it. Yeah. Remember, success isn't about money, it's about fulfillment.
Very encouraging, empowering words. Thank you. That's a perfect way to end. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your inspiring journey.
No. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course, anytime.
I love being on this podcast named Sigma Boy. It's been amazing to look back and reflect on everything I've been through.
Yes, of course. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow us and stay tuned for more inspiring stories. Until next time, Skibidi Boy out.
Thank you.
I mean Sigma Boy.